Hey guys, happy Thursday to you. This is Miss Christopherson. You guys are going to get a project assigned to you that deals with genetic disorders, and I thought I'd make a short video explaining what you should do for that project to hopefully make it a little bit clearer. So you guys just recently got a handout that looks very similar to, I think I closed it out, that looks very similar to this, okay? Um, if you guys could kind of stare at this as we work through this, and I do want to go over a couple things with you. All right, so definitely read through this. I'm noticing and grading some of your work that you guys are not reading. Please read. It does good things for you. A couple of guidelines. I don't want this PowerPoint to be any longer than 10 slides. I'm actually telling you what to put on each slide, so that should make it very easy for you. Be very careful with plagiarism. This project's very easy to plagiarize, and the reason why that is sometimes you don't really understand what the content is saying, so students will copy it and paste it into their PowerPoint and not think that I would recognize it. I know how you write. I know your scientific vocabulary. So when you guys are busting out pretty big words that you have no idea what they mean, I'm going to get you on that, okay? And you don't want to get a 0 on this project, okay? More than likely, I want to count this as a quiz grade, and this might be your only quiz grade for this term. So this is something that could really help you or something that could really, really, really hurt you, all right? And actually, I'm going to be pretty generous in grading it. Just make sure that you cover the main guidelines, okay? So you got to have a picture on each page. I'm at number 3. Got to have a picture on each page. You guys notice on my PowerPoints how I do that as well. Please don't complicate the presentation. That's number 4. What I mean by that is um, don't put a lot of crap going on in there, okay? And actually, guys, you don't even have to really make it sound like an English paper, okay? Just give me the main ideas. Summarize the answers to some of the questions that I'm asking you, okay? And I also asked to keep the same layout throughout your whole presentation, okay? So to walk through what I need on each slide, and actually as I'm doing this, I should have had this called up, queued up, but I don't because I'm no good. Bear with me, bear with me, bear with me, bear with me, bear with me. No. All right, we'll do this one. Okay. All right, so the first set of directions says to give me a title slide that has a picture in it, and that's what you see right there, okay? Please make sure that you put your name on the title slide. I know that seems like kind of a ridiculous thing to ask you guys to do, but people don't do it that often. Okay, slide 2, brief history of the disorder. Okay, so if we were to look at this example right here, notice again, she's keeping it pretty short and sweet. So listed some basic stuff there and has a little picture, okay? That's your brief history. All right, number 3, how is it inherited? Now, if you guys notice, I have other questions listed there. So what causes it? Why is your assigned disorder considered genetic disorder? Blah, blah, blah. You don't have to answer each of those questions. Those are just more guiding questions, okay? So right here, how is it inherited? She explains it right there. Now, I've had some students list before, you inherit it from your parents. Well, no crap. This is genetics, okay? I get that. We are getting to a point where you guys can tell me more than that, okay? And actually, it's very easy to find a lot of this stuff depending on the disorder that you choose, okay? On slide 4, what are the basic symptoms, okay? Basic symptoms, for example, on this one, you can see them listed right there. Oftentimes, there's going to be a lot more symptoms listed than what you can fit on a slide. What I would do, hopefully you're going to hit more than one website for this research. Just list the ones that are most common, okay? Slide 5, can the disorder be passed on to the offspring? One thing that I can't say is students just say yes, okay? It needs to be more than a yes-no question, kind of like what you see that she did right there. There are some things that can't be passed along to their offspring. So this is something, again, that you're going to have to research, okay? All right, slide 6, statistics. How many people have the disorder? All right, again, that's typically going to be listed. So here's the statistics again. She has a picture and just basically list what you see. All right, slide 7 through 9. This is going to be extra information, okay, and it's not an optional thing. All right, so it can't just be pictures, it has to be facts. All right, so like for this one, oops, sorry guys. this one right here, she gets into specific cells that are affected in her particular one, how long you can live, and then just more information. I've seen students link videos to this one to further explain what's going on, or if they found a cool video that shows somebody who has it and is living with it, you guys can do that one as well. Okay, it's up to you what you want to put there. All right, and number 10 is the bibliography. There is a set way to do the bibliography. So for example, if you look here, she lists the site, the website. Here's the address and then the date that she found it, okay? So you guys need to keep up with that stuff. I think I asked you guys to have a minimum of 3 resources, okay, which is what I have right there. But ideally, if you wanted this to be really good, you should have more than 4. Okay, sorry, more than 3 is probably what you're going to use. Now, how do you do research? Okay, now one thing I might encourage you guys to do is, let's say that I was doing what she was doing. Okay, so Huntington's disease, you can type that in Google. What I would do if I were you guys is typically what you're going to get on this first page are going to be some of the best sites. So what I would do is I would click on this, read this first site, answer, kind of write down on a piece of paper the answers to the
Huntington's
questions.
disease is an inherited fatal genetic disorder that
That's good. Write down some of the answers on a piece of paper, and then come here and read the same thing. Okay, and then go to the next site, and to the next site, and then to the next site, and to the next site. And what you're going to find is that you're going to get some overlap with the information, and also it's just going to be more solid with that information. Okay, that's what I would recommend you to do. That's what I do whenever I'm researching anything. Okay. All right, so that's kind of the basics of that one. Now the due date for this, and I've lost my sheet, okay, it's down here, okay. The due date is actually going to be, and I have it listed on the wiki as well, make sure that you guys write it down, it's going to be Thursday, April 6th, okay. Typically I say it's due at 8 o'clock. I'll just say by the end of the day, okay, 3:10 on April 6th, all right. So please make sure that you get that done. You are going to have some class time to work on that. Like today, for example, and if you use your time wisely, you should get a lot of it done. All right, so how do you choose your disorder? What I've done for you guys is that I've linked a list to the wiki page. All right, and if you scroll down here, here's all of the things, okay? What I would recommend is pick something that might be personal to you, like if you have somebody in your family who might have achondroplasia, then I would suggest doing that project because you would learn a lot about that. Pick something that is interesting to you, okay? Don't say, ooh, I want this one right here, okay? If it's not interesting, it's not going to be fun, all right? And there's some really cool, fascinating disorders that are out there, okay? All right, so once you have disorder that you want, and it can be more than what's on that list. There's tons of lists out there. I'm just giving you one of them to get you started. Okay, once you have an idea, you guys are going to come back to the wiki right here where it says genetic disorder topic list. You're going to click on that. And this is a Padlet. And let's say that I wanted to do Huntington's disease. So I would double click on this one and I would write down my name. Okay, and then where it says write something, I'm going to write down Huntington's disease. Okay, and then that's right there. All right. So this one right here is actually first come, first serve. I don't want any duplicates on projects, okay? So when you're posting stuff to this board right here, you need to make sure that you are making sure that nobody else in the class has chosen it. The other thing is I want you to make sure that you come back to this board because I'm actually going to come in here and I'm going to say, hey, that sounds good, and I'll do an approved. If you see an approved, that means that you're good to go with that. If you don't see an approved, or if I say find another one, pick another one, do that, okay? What I can tell you is I had a student that didn't come back to the board to check that one year, and they still did the project on something that didn't approve, and that didn't work, okay? So please make sure that you make sure that I have approved it or not. And I should do it probably, I'll do it by tomorrow, okay? And I'll keep checking it. To make sure that you guys did what you needed to do. Okay? So hopefully that explains everything for you. First period, make sure that you link it here. Second period, make sure that you link it there. Pretty much self-explanatory. If you have any questions, just holler at me. If you guys are doing research and you're not sure what something means, instead of just cutting and pasting and putting it in there, what I would recommend is highlight it and attach it to an email to me, okay? And I'll respond to you. I'll say, hey, this is what that means, okay? I'll be more than happy to help you out with that. All right, you just got to ask. All right, sound good? All right, again, I hope all is well. You guys make sure that you're turning in your work. A lot of you guys have zero. Some of you guys have not turned in anything this term, which makes me wonder what you're doing. You can go on the computer and see your grades. I won't lecture you guys right now about that one, but anyway, we'll have a talk later on about that. All right. So anyway, study hard for your test. Email me if you have any questions, and that's all I got to say. All right. You guys take care.